Hey page turners, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that has been 7 years in the making for a comic legend. You might be able to tell by the title of the video. It's John Byrne, and this is a copy of his Elsewhen's book, X-Men Elsewhen. We're going to open that up today, and I also have this related opening that I want to do. But before we do that, let's take a trip down memory lane and take a look at John Byrne's work through the years. And a lot of this I have from my own collection, and some I have not been able to find in my collection. This little project helped me organize my collection a little bit, or get more organized. And it turns out I have in different pockets throughout my house, I have over 110 comic boxes. Some of the titles that we're going to talk about today I rebagged and boarded, and then did not change the location in my my comic app and CLZ. And so when it came time to pull the issues, I went to the box, and guess what? They're not there. They're in some other box. So I'll make do. Let's take a trip down memory lane. So starting out, John Byrne made his comic debut in a comic called Nightmare. So if you find a black and white magazine, Nightmare number 20, there is a 2-page story in there by illustrated by John Byrne. The story itself, I think, was Al Hewitson, and that was back in August of 1974. I believe that's the earliest work of John Byrne, professional work of John Byrne. I think he did some work in a college newspaper, but I guess this is his first break in the professional field. When I started to go through my John Byrne collection, I realized that I didn't have E-Man number 6, which was basically his first real comic book work. His previous work had been in a black and white magazine. Let's open this up and see E-Man issue number 6. This came from, I ordered this from my comic shop, better known to the old timers as Lone Star Comics. Okay, I ordered a few other comics that I was missing along with this order. Nice job from my comic shop. A good mailer, all taped, backed, bagged and boarded. I've gotten a few things from my comic shop now, and they do a great job, I think. The grading is supposed to be spot on as well. All right. Let me see. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of that love letter. There's my 2 issues of number 6, E-Man number 6. So this is the first time John Byrne in a regular comic book, he had a backup story. And so I got 2 issues, figuring, you know, his first work is going to be worth something someday. And then I guess I was missing number 4 as well, although that cover looks familiar. And these are all in fine condition. Looks like Frankenstein. I think he did some work under Byrne. It called it Byrne Robotics, which I think maybe he had some help. But on his site, I think his site is called Byrne Robotics. I can't remember if it's the John Byrne Forum and Byrne Robotics is part of that, or it's Byrne Robotics, John Byrne Forum. Do a search on it, you'll find it. And at the same time, I noticed I hadn't gotten Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman number 19. So I picked that up. Amazing Spider-Man 27, which has nothing to do with this video, but it's in this box. So 4 and 6, but 6 are the important issues. So that's the minor unboxing. The next thing that John did was in January 1975. These are all cover dates, by the way. January 1975 for Carlton Comics. He did a backup story in E-Man number 6. The title of the story was That Was No Lady. He did, Byrne proceeded to do backup stories in 7, 9, and 10. At that point, the comic got canceled. The next time we see John is in May of 1975, when he did 3 issues of Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch. In June of 75, his first Marvel work was called Dark Asylum, a story published in Giant Size Dracula number 5. And then in July of 75, he did Doomsday +1 for Carlton. He only did the cover of number 1, and then he did the interiors of 2 through 12. And the writer on that was Joe Gill at Carlton Comics. November 1975, he did Iron Fist 1 through 15, which I have most of that run, and that's one of the runs I can't find, so I'll just show the covers here. And that was with Chris Claremont. So in December of 76, he did issues 12 through 15 and some of 17 of The Champions for Marvel. And then it shows work back for Carlton Comics in March through September of 76. He did Space 1999 of 3 through 6. And you know, these cover dates may not coincide. The companies may have held on to the artwork and published them later, or just held on them, sat on them for a while. In June through October of 76, he did Emergency. That was a comic about the TV show. That was comics 1 through 3. In December of 76, he did his first Marvel team-up, number 53. And basically, he did several issues of Marvel team-up. I don't think they were all, I think probably they were arcs in Marvel team-up. And he did a bunch of those. And part of that was the first appearance of Captain Britain in America with issue number 65. In December of 77, John Byrne starts his long run with Chris Claremont on Uncanny X-Men. Started up on issues 108 and finished with 143. I think he missed one issue in there, 110, and so that was where he made his big claim to fame with Chris Claremont. In October 77, he takes over the Avengers, doing 164 through 166. And in March of 79, later on, he did another run, 181 through 191. Then in July of 1980, he did Captain America. That was number 247 through 255. In July of 1981 through 86, he began his historic run on Fantastic Four, not just as an artist, but also as a writer. He brought that franchise back into popularity. His run was 232 through 293. That was 61 issues of writing and artwork. And Jack Kirby, just to compare it, Jack Kirby did 102 consecutive issues. I know he kind of did some of the writing by what he came up with for artwork. You know, Stan Lee took the lead on by seeing the artwork, then he wrote the stories. So Jack Kirby did 102 issues and also 6 annuals during that time. In January 83, John did 2 issues of the Further Adventures of Indiana Jones. And in August of 83 through 85, he's doing double duty here. He's writing and drawing Fantastic Four while he's also doing Alpha Flight. He did 1 through 28 of that. So he's a pretty busy guy. Alpha Flight was the Canadian super team that was introduced in the X-Men, and Wolverine was a member of that team for a while. In November of 83, he did some issues of Daredevil, 200 to 203, and I guess he did also 223. In September of 85 to 86. He did Incredible Hulk 314 to 319. And he also in Epic Illustrated magazine, that's a Marvel title, he did the last Galactic story. That was, I think that was an 8-parter. Yeah, that was in issues 26 through 34. And he did in August of 85, he did in Marvel graphic novel number 18, he did the sensational She-Hulk. In 1986, John jumped away from Marvel and went to DC. He wrote and penciled Legends. That was a 6-issue miniseries. In October 1986, he stirred things up and rebooted Superman. That was a 6-issue series, Man of Steel. In January of 87 through October 88, he took over the writing for Superman and Action Comics. And he did 1 through 22 of the volume 2 of Superman, and then Action Comics he did 26 issues and 2 annuals. That was 584 to 600. He did a couple of annuals, and then later on he came back and he did another run on Action Comics. And the Action Comics during that time, it was basically a team up title, where Superman teamed up with somebody different every month. Kind of like Batman on the Brave and Bold. Batman would team up with somebody different every month back in the old Brave and Bold. Wish they'd bring that back. When John Byrne revamped Superman and did his 6-issue run of Man of Steel, during that time he made the cover of, Superman made the cover of Time magazine. And there it is, still in great shape. That's during his John Byrne's run, first go around revamping Superman. And then from March 1989 to 1990, West Coast Avengers, number 42 through 57. So he's back, at this point he's back with Marvel. I show he did issues of Star Brand from 11 to 19. That was the new Universe line. In 89, May of 89 to April 93, he wrote and drew Sensational She-Hulk 1 through 8, and he left the title and came back for issues 31 through 50. In April 1990 through 92, so while he's doing Sensational She-Hulk, he's also doing Namor the Submariner, issues 1 through 25. And then in September 91, shows him back with DC, and he does a graphic novel of OMAC. That was OMAC Volume 2, obviously, from the comic series Jack Kirby did. And I think he did 3, I'd call them graphic novels size. And then in 1992, he did Green Lantern Ganthet's Tale. So I don't know if he's actually jumping back and forth or he's just freelancing back and forth for either company. In January 92 through 94, he started his creator-owned titles with Next Men, numbers 0 through 30 with Dark Horse. In February of 94, he did Danger Unlimited. That was just a 4-issue series. That was for Dark Horse. He also did, for Dark Horse Legend, he did Babe 1 through 4. And then he did a volume 2, a 2-issue volume 2 in the next year, March of April 1995. In September 95 through August of 98, he went back to DC and did a nice run on Wonder Woman, volume 2, 101 through 136. And he also did Gods and Goddesses, is a book. In January 97, August 98, he did Jack Kirby's Fourth World 1 through 20. And in November 98 to June of 2000, he did an 18-issue run of Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 2. 1996, he did New Gods, Volume 4, 12 through 15. In October 98 to August 99, he did Spider-Man Chapter 1, and that was 0 through number 12. In January of 1989, he did a Superman and Batman Generations, and he had 4 different volumes of that. That was pretty cool. That was when he did like something that hardly ever happens in comics. He actually aged the characters, and I mean, obviously the title Generations, you had several generations of superheroes. In 1999, He worked on the Hulk. In December of 1999, December to September of 2001, returns to Marvel X-Men, The Hidden Years, and that was, he did a 22-issue run on that. Was the time between the Volume 1 comic, that was between the time of issue number 66 to 94 in the giant size X-Men number 1. In March of 2000 to February 2001 for Marvel, he did a title called The Lost Generation. That was a 12-issue mini maxi series, I guess you call it, maxi series. But the numbering runs backwards because they're kind of playing around with time there. And this was about, the title was about heroes that occurred before Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, so it's kind of pre-62. In August of 2001, he did another run on Generations. This was Generations Volume 2. That was a 4-issue run. In 2002, he did an 8-issue Lab Rats for DC Comics. There again, that was something he wrote. March of 2003 to February of 2004, he did another Superman and Batman Generations Volume 3. That was actually a 12-issue run. And check that out, I really like that. August 2004 to January of 2006, he did an 18-issue run on Doom Patrol. In May of 2004, he did JLA issues 94 through 99. That was a 6-issue arc called The 10th Circle. In May of 2005 through August 2006, he did The Blood of the Demon, 1 through 16. He did a lot of takes on a lot of the Jack Kirby titles, which I think is fine. It shows that he has a love for Jack Kirby. In June of 2005 to March 2006, that's when he did his second stint on Action Comics. He did a 9-issue run, 827 up to 835. And then in July of December of 2006, he did 3 issues of the all-new Atom. From March to August of 2008, he did a title called FX, 6-issue miniseries. And then from then on, he did several titles for IDW. And I have a few of those titles. One of them was Star Trek Crew. And the other was his second go-around with the X-Men. He did like another run at the X-Men with IDW. Throughout that time, it was from 2006 to 2018, he was doing work for IDW. And check it out, there is a list of titles that he worked on. And he did something kind of cool and different, really. It was a title called Star Trek New Visions. And it was basically a photo montage, collage. He did 22 issues of that, and he would take photos from the original series and then rewrite new dialogue for it. I don't own any of those, and I haven't read any of them, but it sounds like it was pretty popular to go 22 issues. So that's his IDW time period. And then in 2018, he starts playing around with the X-Men on his website. And during that time, even before that time, John Byrne had his own website. And I used to, at lunch, I had a half hour for lunch. A lot of times I would bring that up and read what was going on. And he had a forum online, and he had quite a following on that forum. A lot of back and forth. I guess he got to thinking, fans asked him about stuff and what he would have done with the X-Men after he left. His last issue of X-Men was 143. So he started playing around with what he would have written for the series at that point going forward. At the time, I guess, when he left, he felt stifled. He really wasn't happy with the way, I think, Jim Shooter dictated what happened to Dark Phoenix. He didn't really like the way that was played out. So in 2018, he started thinking about it. So he would do pages. He actually did pages for his own enjoyment, and he would just put them out there on the forum of what he had done. Fast forward, he kept doing this, and I think he had like 30 some odd issues he'd done up. Abrams' books, finally, I don't think he was really anxious to get the thing printed. he was happy, I think, with the way things were. They finally talked him into getting it published. That is what is in this package right here. And this is just one of 3 of these. So, and I think John Byrne sees this as his last hurrah. I hope it's not, because the guy, he's still creating. And even though he had done all of this work on his website, he redid it when he realized that it was going to get printed. He went through and cleaned everything up, you know, made it print worthy. So he's done his work. Seems like he's always been a workhorse. Let's take a look and see what John has done. If you want to see like an artist edition version of just the roughs, he would post the artwork from these, and you know, some of it's like the rough pencils. Everything's out there on the John Byrne forum. Let's open this up and see what we've got. Okay, so this is the big opening. I ordered this from Bud's Books, and part of the reason is Bud his outfit always does a really nice job protecting the book. I've had stuff come from Amazon and it's all beat to hell by the time it gets here. I think I saw one little divot on this. We'll see how it fared through the United States Postal Service. Look at that baby. Okay. Here's my love letter from Bud's Art Books out of California. They've been around for years. This is a hardcover edition. This is volume 1. Volume number 2 is coming out in this fall of 26, and number 3 in the spring of 27. That's beautiful. Nice. Untouched by human hands except for mine. Don't you love the smell of a new book? I believe this is the first printing. It's funny to see John Byrne in the back of the book on the dust jacket, all white. So that's it. X-Men Elsewhen by John Byrne. Go out and get burned, and you can get your second volume in this coming fall. Thanks for listening in. I do appreciate it. If you would, please subscribe and give me a like. It makes all this stuff worthwhile. And give me a comment. I like to get feedback from people. Sometimes the things I say aren't right. I do the best I can, and I hope you like the video, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.